We are halfway through. 10 steps to start your business. 10 steps to go from, you know what, I kind of want to run a business to, yes, I'm definitely going to run a business. And these steps are brought to you by the Small Business Administration, the SBA. I have no affiliation with them, but these are the 10 steps that they feel is most directly related and necessary when it comes to starting your business. So far, we have gone through the following. We've gone through conducting market research, writing your business plan, funding your business, and picking your business location. Okay? So those descriptions or those links to each one of those will be in the description below. All right? So check that out. So what I need you to understand is this. Choosing a business structure is the topic of today, but I also have to tell you, this is something that I've talked in detail about in my course, An Introduction to Entrepreneurship, Transitioning from Idea to Creation. And you can check down below if you want more information on that as well. But what I really wanted to say was choosing a structure is a very important part of your business. It's the difference between really being in business or just kind of playing around with it. Hello, everyone. I am Dr. M. Stolard, entrepreneurial strategist, cultivating brand clarity for the solopreneurs, for the organizational founders, and those who truly want to serve and give back. Now, if you live in the United States, you're going to have to deal with taxes at some point in time, right? The legal structure you choose directly affects your taxes. It directly affects your taxes for yourself, and it directly affects your taxes for your business. Now, allow me to highlight for you the most common business structures or business identities, right? Number one is sole proprietorship. It's also recognized as a DBA. DBA is an acronym for doing business as. Sometimes when you get a checkbook with a sole proprietorship paperwork, it'll say doing business as whatever that particular name is. It'll say your name, doing business as whatever business structure entity you've selected. Then assumed name. That's also another name for it. So you have sole proprietorship, you got DBA, or doing business as, you have assumed names. They all mean the same thing, right? And the cost to register for them are about $25 to $50, okay? Depending on which county that you're in. And that's also another point I need to make sure that's clear. You're registering this for your county. So whatever county you're in within the United States, in order to get a DBA or an assumed name, you register that within your county. That's the most common way. So again, most important thing to know, DBA, assumed name, proprietorship, they're all the same. They basically mean the same thing. But the important piece is that a sole proprietorship does not produce a separate business entity, right? Fancy jargon that means your business assets and the liabilities are not separate, right? So your personal assets and your personal liabilities are the exact same as your business liabilities and your business assets. You can be, so in short, if you're sued, in some cases with a different entity, you can only sue that particular business structure. Whereas if you have a sole proprietorship and you're sued, they can come for everything. And I mention this to folks because when folks can talk about business and entrepreneurship, they only want to speak about the good stuff. Oh, how much money you can make and you can do that. And I just want to tell you the truth, right? That's the most important thing to understand, that if you chose to go with a sole proprietorship, and a lot of people do this for numerous reasons. And one of them is it's just most cost effective, right? Okay, now, the next most common business structure is to be incorporated, also known or seen as INC. Now, you have C Corp, which is the most common. Then you have S Corp and you have B Corp. Now, listen, speak to a tax expert. That's the best way to know what is best for you. This is not something to play around with. I know you're going to go on other channels and they're going to have business consultants and strategists or whatever title they choose to be. And they're going to say, you should do this, you can do that. And this is what I do. And I get that. I understand that completely. But the taxes, you don't want to play with Uncle Sam in that regard. So get you a professional, let them explain it in detail as it pertains to you. Because what somebody else does for their business is totally different than what you need to do for your business. And I strongly encourage you to do so. Another business structure is nonprofit, right? This is for the community organizations out there. You know, I love you. I like to work with you. I've worked with you a lot, and you know, we've done a lot of work throughout the years. So yeah, nonprofit is another entity. 501c3 is probably one of the most common. But let me just also share this with you. You have more options out there besides just a 501c3. So I encourage you to investigate that. Okay. Lastly, well, almost lastly, partnership, right? This is a setup that's common between, like you see it with attorneys and law offices, but basically it's a partnership when you have like 2 or more people and come together to put a business together, right? But again, talk to a tax expert about this one. This is also something that you want to pay close attention to. Now, I say the best for last because this is probably the most common. This is how most businesses, or a lot of businesses, set up for all you coaches and life coaches and solopreneurs. And this is actually my business structure as well, right? This is the LLC, limited liability company, right? Limited liability, LLC, right? Now, a few things to kind of understand about that. Again, LLC, limited liability company. The main thing you need to know is this: get a lawyer and get a CPA to help you with this, right? But this is the key. You don't need them to help you set it up, right? You can do yourself. It's usually like a 1-page or 2-page document. You can set this up yourself. You don't have to pay, and I'm not trying to take money out the lawyer's pockets and CPA. You see, I recommended they talk to you several times, but when it comes to just filing paper to create an LLC, you don't have to have them to do so. My advice is to tell you to talk to a lawyer, or CPA, or a tax expert to make sure that the structure you choose is the best for you, right? And if they tell you that the LLC is what you want to do, tell them thank you, and then you can actually go and fill out stuff out yourself. I promise you, it's super easy. You know, and you can go to any of the state websites, and then you take care of that for you. Okay. Let me see what else. Last thing on that, sorry, with the LLC, it does give you some protection. It does give you some protection. Whereas with the sole proprietorship that we talked about in the beginning, it kind of gives you no protection, where everything is kind of lumped together. If someone was to sue you, the LLC does give you some protection, which is why it's called a limited liability company. So just to review quickly, you have your sole proprietorship, which is usually one person, right? And you have unlimited personal liability. Then you have your partnerships, where 2 or more people, okay? You have unlimited personal liabilities unless structured as a limited partnership. Then you have your LLC, which is usually for 1 or more people. The reason why it's so popular, well, one of the reasons why is because you as an entity, you as an individual can sign up for an LLC as an individual, okay? And then the owners are not personally liable or responsible. Not personally liable. You're always responsible. And then the corporation, the most common is C Corp, S Corp, B Corp, right? And then, of course, you have a nonprofit, which fits under the corporation umbrella. But again, those are the most common. So I hope this was helpful to you to kind of at least get you pointed in the right direction. And if you have any questions, need anything, please reach out. And don't forget to check out the description below. And y'all have a good day.